Hello, my friends. We have not got to see each other in a while, and I am so happy to see your face today. We are going to be learning about apostrophes. And apostrophes are important little parts of grammar that help your writing to be better understood. So let's make sure that you can say this word. Say it with me. Apostrophes. Apostrophes. And apostrophes really have two main jobs. And I'm going to only talk to you really about one of their jobs today, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you both of the things that they do. So, the first thing that an apostrophe can do is form a contraction. You might have learned about contractions before, maybe in the first grade. When you think about a contraction, I want you to think about a band aid. When you want to make a contraction, you have two words that need to smash together. One or two of the letters pop out, and you use an apostrophe like a band aid to help heal the place where the letters popped out. So if you're trying to make a contraction out of have not, you smush those words together and you use an apostrophe as a band aid to put over the letters that you moved out to make the word haven't. But this week, we are talking about the other way that we use apostrophes, and that is to form possessives. I want you to think about a cowboy. A cowboy uses his lasso to claim his cow from a herd of cattle. He is owning that cow. The cowboy's lasso. Notice the apostrophe hanging up in the air. It's pointing to the word cowboy. This is because it is the cowboy's lasso. We're going to do some more examples together now. Miss Morris is wild about possessives, and hopefully you will be too. So, what does possessive mean, and how can we figure it out? The root word is possess. To possess something means to own it. Now we know possess means to own something. Okay? There are different ways to show possession in our writing. One is with possessive nouns. Possessive nouns. First of all, what is a noun? Yes, a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So, if a possessive noun is something that shows ownership, that means that that person, place, or thing actually owns something. There is one important thing about possessive nouns. They must contain a small and floating object called an apostrophe. Can you say that word? Apostrophe. Let's take a look at the kitten. He kind of has mean eyes. Poor little guy. Anyway, the kitten's ball is green. Whose ball? The kitten's. Notice that the apostrophe is working like a little finger. It's pointing to the word kitten. Kitten is a noun and it owns the ball. So, kittens is a possessive noun. Here's one way to remind yourself to make sure to include a little apostrophe. Pretend that that apostrophe is kind of like a little hook. It has a special job. That job is to hook or hold on to whatever the noun owns. For the kitten, the apostrophe is holding on to the ball for him because he possesses it or he owns it. The kitten does not have to worry about anyone taking his ball because the apostrophe is holding onto it for him. The kitten's ball. A possessive word would show ownership, like Farmer Brown's cow or Jim's baseball cap. Which one of these belongs to Cowboy Bob? That's right, the hat. And who owns this dog? Joey. What about this cap? Who owns this blue baseball cap? Jim. And who owns this cow? Well, we said it was Farmer Brown's cow. Now for the exceptions, things that don't follow the rule. Irregular plurals form possessives by adding s. For example, the possessive of children is children's, like the children's books. And the possessive of women is women's, like these women's dresses. And the possessive of men is men's. Okay, now that we know about apostrophes, we have to know the difference between singular, which means one, and plural. This is a real problem because we have actual grown-ups who grow up to just put apostrophes at the end of every word that ends in S. They don't know when to use apostrophe S and when to just leave it all alone. And they also don't know where the apostrophe goes. One of our goals this week is to help you know when to use an apostrophe or if you even need to use it at all. Let's take a look. Okay, here's the basic rule. If there's just one of something, only one person is owning it, you're going to use an apostrophe S to show the owner. For example, the father of Julian is Julian's father. Notice there's an apostrophe S. The apostrophe is pointing to the word Julian, Julian's father. The car of the man, one man, the man's car. The cat of the girl, the girl's cat. Look at these apostrophe S's. They're pointing to, the girl's cat is pointing to the word girl, just one girl. The man's car, the apostrophe is pointing to the word man, just one man. But notice what happens when we're trying to talk about more than one of something that is owning something. The dresses of the girls. This is more than one girl. The girls' dresses. Notice my apostrophe is at the end of the word. That's because it has to point to the owner, and the owner is more than one girl. It's girls. The girls' dresses. The apostrophe is on the outside of the S. But when I was talking about just one, the apostrophe came before the S. It matters where you put the apostrophe. Let's look at another one. The cookies of the boys. Whose cookies are they? The boys' cookies. More than one of them own the cookies. Notice the apostrophe is on the outside of the S. The eggs of the dinosaurs. We have more than one dinosaur with eggs. The dinosaurs' eggs. Notice the apostrophe is pointing to the whole word dinosaurs because there's more than one showing ownership. So, let's look at a couple more examples. The children's bedroom is painted light blue. Whose bedroom? Children's. And this is one of those tricky exceptions because it would make sense to put the S on the outside since there's more than one. But this is a tricky word. And the apostrophe actually goes right there. The children's bedroom is painted light blue. The apostrophe is pointing to the word children, the owner of the bedroom. The lady's hat blew away in the strong wind. Well, we're only talking about one lady. So my apostrophe is going to go right here before the S. The men's locker room was deserted. Men's, going to point to the word men. The lion's den was cleaned out yesterday. If we wanted to talk about more than one lion, we would put the apostrophe on the outside. The lion's den was cleaned out yesterday. This now means that it's more than one lion sharing the den. The boys' rooms were full of sports trophies. I know it's talking about more than one boy because it says rooms. The boys' rooms. So would the apostrophe go before the S or after? Well, if I put it before, then it's pointing to the word boy. The boy rooms were full of sports trophies. That doesn't work. That's because I'm talking about more than one boy. The apostrophe has to go at the end. The boys' rooms were full of sports trophies. That way I'm talking about more than one boy. Believe it or not, the place that we put our little apostrophe makes a huge difference. Since you share your playground equipment, here's the proper way to show it. The student's slide is very colorful. Whose slide? Students. Notice where the apostrophe is located. It is after the word students. He's holding on to the slide for all of the students. The student slide is very colorful. The student slide is very colorful. Look at the apostrophe. I have changed the meaning of my sentence just by moving the apostrophe. In the first sentence, the student slide is very colorful. I am talking about a group of students. I know because the apostrophe is on the outside, pointing to the word students. But in my second sentence, the student slide is very colorful. I'm only talking about one student. The student slide is very colorful. Maybe he has a slide at his house. Whatever is before the apostrophe is the owner or owners of the object. Here it is, all in a nutshell for you. A possessive noun shows who or what owns something. Singular nouns are made possessive by adding an apostrophe and then an S. Example, the boy's kite flew high in the sky. Plural possessives are formed by adding an apostrophe after the S. The girl's kite flew high in the sky. When a plural noun does not end with an S, you have to add an apostrophe and then an S. Like this, the men's truck was dirty. Okay, my friends, I know I've given you a lot of rules. Plurals can be tricky. The best thing to do is to practice, practice, practice. You can do it. I'm proud of you. Have a great week learning about apostrophes.